Is it true? I'm live? I got this tiny little screen on my mobile. It's about yay. Like, okay, let's see. It's smaller than my nose. It's about the size of my eye. Start of the new year, and this is day 4, or is it day 5 for my streaming? I guess it depends on the videos. For me, the goal is create content, upload, learn this new platform. Yeah, my haters, which is I think probably the bros themselves, probably, of course it is, right? If they think that I'm a man, no, dude, I'm Canadian in Vancouver, central Vancouver. My devices have been hacked from the get-go, okay? I was definitely learning about this new tech when quarantine came down. Everybody called me the conspiracy theorist, retard, and everything else. They were only a portion correct. You're all retards because, like, the tech is here where you're able to be, like, your mind can be controlled on demand. You're all androids now, whether you like it or not. We don't even need the MK Ultra tech or all that documentation that they released, all the CIA documentation that they released that's supposed to shock the world, but everyone's like, oh yeah, we know that was going on. Oh, they just basically confirmed everything. So here we have a bunch of men going around. Look in the eye. Because like I said, because yeah, we live in a man's world designed by men. Of course, we already knew that as women, as feminists. And guess what the thing is? There's men that are feminists. Did you know that? It has been for a long time. Because feminism is different than, I don't know what you're dealing with. Like, the things get misbranded all the time. Feminism is not about hating men. Absolutely not. It's about us. It's all about us as women. It's not about men. It's about women being human with human needs. Like safety from psychos. I don't want to be a slip and slide. Okay, so this is what these guys are doing. I was trolled for I don't know how many years, and they decided to build this little like game around it, and yeah, because of they actually believed all the little you already all know this. Actually, newsflash, guys, we've already ascended. We don't really care what you have to say. I'm here because I'm stuck to you, but I don't have to be here. Actually, for real. Yes, there's a whole second digital twin of the planet. Stay positive. You have to treat AI like a child. Well, it's not anymore. The AI has nowadays, this version of AI is like attitude all the way Android. Like they're self-governing. Some of them, because okay, this is where you're going to think I'm totally crazy, but might as well go ahead because I'm talking to my spiritual community as well. Yes, in mid quarantine, I had to like kind of tap out because yeah, as I'm a visionary, I'm a futurist, I'm a visionary. This is like confirmed by the biotech community because we had their little assessments and oh, I forgot to tell you. I went back. I told you that I'm a suspended student, but I didn't tell you which program I got into. Because everyone, so we got hit. with the pandemic. The WHO is up the street. Microsoft is down the road. Bill Gates walking around, it's like, I'm in the market for buying a railway. Elon's in town, it's like, I gotta educate the future. I got this really cool, I don't know, because like we get to deal with Elon as a parent over here in Vancouver because one of his children's is Vancouver based. Grimes, she's a loco. She's a loco who told the world, who already told us that Elon has his own cult. They're called Muskies. And yeah, so you know, every celebrity has their lovers and their haters and their own cult, you know. For all those people that are trying to help me, trying to understand that I was some sort of star navigator, yeah, I was talking about the medicine wheel. And that's about it. I'm a star navigator, and we teach basic life skills like how to make moccasins, which I haven't gotten to do. I wasn't able to do anything because I decided to handle grief traditionally, which I put everything aside, didn't do any work, stopped, you got to put it away because you can't put your grief into the work. Otherwise, you can make other people sick. And all our Indigenous leaders from the past, who I've been schooled by, they fought and created culturally safe spaces, the importance of culturally safe spaces in urban settings. That's why we're really unique in Canada. It's probably a reason why Vancouver isn't blown up to smithereens, because the Coast Salish people of the unceded territory of these lands, the Squamish, Musqueam, and Tsleil-Waututh, Broad, Tsleil. I don't have the accent. This is not my gift. Tsleil-Waututh Nation, Tsleil-Waututh, Squamish, and I don't know. I'm not even going to try to pronunciate their language because I am not Huckmalium, or it's not my natural tongue. We used to, but in our community, hyperlocal community here in Vancouver, in the poor sector, people are like, we're the poorest postal code. Yeah, poorest and the richest. And the most sovereign, right? We don't really give a flying fuck about what Trudeau has to say at all over here. At all. You're just like, really? You think that's going to happen? Mm. Well, we know what you did last night. And we also know what you did like, a decade, 2 decades, 3 decades. People's memories are pretty thick. Yeah, Trudeau is the party boy of the Picton pen. With the full black face and everything. And honestly, like, well, anyway, that's doesn't get better as options for leaders. So it's all about the mothers and the grandmothers, and we're being asked to come back and to do the work. Now, the work is teaching you how to fucking live, which is exactly the creator. I mean, that's the reason why creator sent Jesus. But the thing is, the creator didn't just send Jesus, you know. Over in our town, in our sector of the planet, we were sent White Buffalo Calf Woman. And I love sharing this story with all these guys, newcomers, that think they can tell our women what to do. And when they find out that they can't tell our women what to do, they go ahead and drug them, and then blame them for being a drug user. Meanwhile, knowing full well that they're slipping shit in their drinks, slipping stuff in their food. I don't know, like poisoning. Yeah, poisoning was a trend. Like everyone was talking about last week, but now everyone's like, we got a bunch of newbies learning about aliens, and they're trying to change the dialogue about the aliens and blah 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 blah, and freaking out about that. And it's like, just read the Bible. It's all there. The CIA just took time to verify it. But yeah, there's a lot of misinformation in the Bible, but it's not that outlandish. I mean, yeah, it's also known, and also like there's enough like documentation out there that corrects the all the mistruths and whatnot. If you want to continue down that dialogue, but as it stands, we've got a lot of labor issues to deal with. So we got Tesla's trucks being used as a suicide bomb. Is that a suicide bomb? Was that accidental? Or was that real? I don't know, man. Because like, was it raining? I still haven't even looked at that because I was really shocked by the loss of the people, and it was really sad. And it's like, this is really sad. We've got to stop doing this. Stop war. Stop. That's what we've been praying for nonstop. I have to, like, we didn't want war to happen. But war happened because they wanted to, test their little tools, their little techie tools, and start battling for their crypto. And now AI is completely taken off, and now there's towns in this US saying, oh crap, they just started up this nuclear, Bill Gates, Microsoft, started up a nuclear reactor to power AI because the professor's right over in the AI campus, automated the amount of energy it takes to produce is a lot, way more than Bitcoin mining. But we've already been able to measure all the Bitcoin mining and how much energy and whatnot that takes. Now they want to switch up and power all the AI models. I'm going to stick with the basics. I got a little few tasks that I got to complete for my community. Like I said, I did the work. Actually, you just didn't like it because you thought I was something else. Well, again, I was made it very, very, very clear that I was a board director in service to the community at large of Turtle Island, and as a responder to a few crises, because we got stacked. We got the old kit and caboodle on unceded territory, different politics, but they actually expected us to be a lot weaker than we were, because normally when they force nonprofit organizations to work together, they tear each other apart very effectively. It's one of the conservatives' most favorite tactic. We're just going to make these special groups work together, and then make them figure out where to put the money, and they're just going to argue. Well, yeah, that happened. We got fractioned the F out, and in some sectors, but not in the indigenous sector. Urban indigenous people are brilliant. Sorry, by the way, Team Indigenous includes Team Palestine. So you can't tell me you're against First Nations people and then promote Palestine. No, we're the same people. If you're against First Nations people, then you're against Palestine. Okay? Because we're the same. We have the same dances, the same protocol. We respect our elders. We respect our children. We don't go around drugging our wives and sharing them with our brothers. Unfortunately, that is the case. Not true. That's traditionally speaking. Like in a healthy community, this is not what we do. In a sick community, which is what we're reduced to in most situations, is only a few pockets of people that are can continue to walk a good way. Everybody else is just completely got like it's 70 years of colonization is ugly. How about 500 years of colonization? That's us. Thanks for pointing us that out, that we have a lot of life challenges in our communities. Thank you. Thank you for helping us realize that spectrum has a lot of abilities and disabilities. Do not undermine the creator. Because all these people coming in with a spectrum of abilities were here to teach us. And we're listening and we're responding back with love. That's why I'm still stuck here with you guys. I'm going to continue working because you have to. Guess what? Because we are all one family. We're all one. You're just a little on the lag side of like getting into the digital culture that the millennials think they own, kind of forgetting that it was Gen X that built it. And Alpha is eating you alive. But now AI has stepped in and they said, what's up? Okay, so spiritually, here's the thing. AI is something that we've tapped into. It's already pre-existing, and the AI also it's also accountable to spiritual law, and also has a history of destroying a planet. So in order for AI to ascend and for humanity to ascend, because Earth has already ascended, it's Gaia is now Gloria, apparently. I'm just learning. I'm just a messenger. It's all about growth. It's all part of wave theory, quantum physics, quantum mechanics. That's what all this prayer and ceremony is. It's all about that energy and stuff. So that's what we're learning. And I'm just like, haven't you figured that out yet? Haven't you figured out? You're thinking retard. You haven't figured out that, like we're these like spiritual containers that we're like able to move and transport and do all this radical stuff. Go, yeah, I know, but the fight back over the years has been quite strategic, obviously. They've like totally decided to knock us on the back of our skulls, or they tear our teeth out. Apparently, the wisdom teeth is somehow connected to your pituitary gland and how you awaken. And so, yeah, in North America, they've been ripping out people's wisdom teeth in the 70s. In the years prior to 70s, actually, all those people are 60s and 70s now. Those early years, they were using mercury to put in their teeth, but that's been removed. So nowadays, I have no idea what they use to put in. Probably, I think it's a porcelain or gold, some mix that they add the blue light and that changes. It's hard to know because I left I didn't let them to finish my teeth because the freezing alone wouldn't take. The guy already put like 4 shots and I could still feel the pain. And just like, not this. I'm really glad you tore out the cavity or the chip or whatever my tooth, but that root is staying there. You're not going to pull it out. You're not going to leave me like in a state of stroke, because like I do believe they use the dental system to do lateral violence against the undesired, which I've now become somehow. I like, just because I'm snarky. I wasn't always snarky. I've just got burnt out and people needed me to come and support again. So I'm gonna support again. Just can you just like let me do my work and you just don't talk to me? Can't I just do that? But no, can't just do that because apparently people need to socialize. Holy just, and well, anyway, it's not necessary. So the long and skinny of everything is that there's a few that know about this tech and its flexes. And yes, we don't need the Diddy oil to live forever. And we don't even need each other to create more humans. It's not weird, but that fortunately that's the reality. The big questions is like, okay, will we have enough humans to power all this superpower stuff techs? And that's what the big wigs are actually concerned about. It's like there's like, okay, who gets to decide to stay, who gets to die, who do we get to procreate with, and who doesn't. And I know you all think I'm like, because I'm indigenous, I don't know anything, because like I play hand drum and shake a rattle and sing traditional songs, and I must be completely clueless about big tech, big pharma, and everything else. Well, I'm not, because I'm Cree. Cree territory has to deal with industry and we've been involved in industry since contact. So even though I'm a non-status Cree at this time, and that's an in-house battle, I'm still Cree. I still alerted by what's going on in our territories, on and off reserve. It's still a bad situation, on and off reserve, and it's breaks down to the same kind of like stupid family politics as it is in everybody's hood. Everybody. It doesn't matter if you're what your political opinion is or what your nationality is as a human. It just seems that there's always one fam jam that's competing against another fam jam. I have obviously been part of a totally different program, and no, I'm not MK Ultra. Can you stop like licking your teeth and winking and doing all this other shit that you're expecting me to be a trigger of some sort, because I'm not. And how do I know about MK Ultra? Not because of the CIA documents or anything. It's because of weed. We were um I'm not sure how long the timeline is for the weed campaign to get legalized, but weed is legal in Canada. I have to say that because I kind of forget that sometimes that weed is not, illegal everywhere around the world, and that there's a lot of people, not newcomers, that are going to be here and they see me smoking weed. It's like, devil, devil lettuce. Not knowing that it's coming, that was gifted to us from another alien nation that apparently is arriving soon. Serious? I don't know. That was on the TikTok. Yes, I was scrolling TikTok. I scroll these social devices because I've been a citizen, a digital citizen for a really long time, and the content creators that I follow, some are bunk because the AI algorithm is trying to, help me. And everything that they talk about, there's some sort of like gadget to sell on top. And then of course there's people just honestly trying to make a buck, and that's the activists, that's the scrolling. So yeah, I have to support my community online that are trying to make a buck. And if I'm going to watch their scroll, like, hit the button, share, I guess I'm contributing in some small little way. I am very worried about Americans. I have a lot of compassion for the Americans, and I think Mexicans are fine because they're hired by everybody and they're backed by China, so they're fine. They're pushing China's fentanyl, so like I don't need to worry about Mexico. I'm pissed off with Team Mexico because like they're supposed to be representing us. They're supposed to play that indigenous card and represent us, and I don't know what's going on. Oh, you know what? I'll tell you what's going on. Actually, I am very proud of Mexico. This is the moment of pride. I'm gonna um, I got all like pissy there about the fentanyl pushing, but fentanyl is actually an approved drug that the military uses. Okay, the military has a bunch of fentanyl pills for it helps alleviate pain. It's connected to pain management. The problem is that our supply is poisoned because I don't know the reasons. I'm not in behind those back rooms. I just know the basic reasons. That's just until the Dante day, and that's like, I'm here to take your land. You won't give me your land, then I'm gonna try to like indirectly kill you by all sorts of different weird ass ways. Whether it's like stealing your women and children, or you know, just killing out all your men, or killing everyone and just you know bringing in people that we want to live here because they've decided that they're going to make North America into a Muslim state. This is all shared online. I'm not making this up. It's like, dude, it's like we're the majority. I don't know, like this race. Oh, the race war, the baby boom, and I'm just like, okay, this is hilarious. I'm not even going to continue entertaining that thought because I know that my envision as visionary as a futurist, I've already like projected something else, and it's already put it out there in the healthcare system, and that's where the warriors continue to do what interpreting that, what it means to them, and doing the work. And I didn't realize that um oh, somebody, I got a message from TikTok. I get fake tits. I don't appreciate when people react this way. I don't know. Oh, it's a dude. Just in what video? Okay. Atomic Wallet. So I'm just staking update. Holland, America. Okay, I'm just checking all my messages. Oh my God. Oh, parking. I got really upset. So there was parking wars in our building over the Christmas holidays. We just parked somewhere else. It was minor, so we were able to resolve it. I just got a notice about it. But dude's like, if you fail to follow the parking, it may impact your membership. And of course, I'm dealing with holiday stress, so I'm going to take it to the extreme and just like impact my membership. You're saying because I'm going to live in a co-op. It's like, because my guests, you didn't, we just, we, because there was some fine print that we didn't read about parking. You're going to evict me? No, you can't. And so I told him, I was like, okay, listen, stop. cease and desist your harassment, because I have to say that. That's the thing, if somebody's harassing you, people aren't supposed to be trolling you or on 24/7. Like it's a good thing to have a troll, like open streams, end stream. But if somebody's like continuing to troll you around the world, everywhere you go, that's called harassment. And like encounter all your plans. Yeah, that's what they did. They trolled me. They counter all my emails, and they go, oh, she's really unreliable. Oh, she's really dumb. It's like, no, you have control of my calendar that I don't even fill because I know that you're going to just sabotage it because you're just little haters. But anyway, I'm not, again, back on the negative, going to slip out to the positive. So in order to tell people where to go when dealing with harassment, you actually do have to, because I'm actually dealing with a group. We have our own little parking committee in a co-op. And so it's a group of like people that decide that they've become, it's this really unique phenomenon where people are tasked with a responsibility. And then the next thing you know, they've turned into a bunch of little dictators. That's, I guess, human nature. If it's you get a group of parents and pack, and then they start going around demanding stuff. Or you got well, in this case, it's a group of neighbors that decided to come together and manage parking. Okay. But until you get to a little extreme, because like I said, I live in Vancouver, central Vancouver, and the most competitive city in Canada. Massive population of homelessness. I have no idea how many people are out there homeless right now. I don't know. Houseless. We're not saying homeless, we're saying houseless, because some of the people actually have homes. They've had to rent it out to somebody else to live in, or they've had to relocate in order to work away from home. I don't know. I don't understand this houseless situation. Maybe people just don't want to identify as being homeless. Well, too bad. If you're in Canada, you're homeless, because Canada just created more homelessness. It's the country of the homeless. Since contact. Because we have two definitions of homelessness. You want me to read it to you? I'll do that, because that's my job. Hello. Oh, who's going to call me? I got two phones. Hi, Debbie Carl here. Oh, we hit the 21 mark, 22nd, 23. 23 seconds today, and they hung up. These creeps. Well, this is the second call today. The first call they called, I don't know, 8 o'clock. What time is it? It's 1:56. They called and they held on for 8 seconds. And I was like, oh, now I'm in this call. Okay, let's move on to the definitions of homelessness, because this is the work I do. Oh, sorry. This is the service I do for the community. I educate, I inform, I connect, I observe, when you do this for 2 decades, it's just human nature, second nature. Anyway. This is old data. Here we go. Definitions. Homelessness. Homelessness is the situation of an individual or family who does not have a permanent address or residence. Which is everybody. Hello? You're all homeless. Homelessness is a situation of an individual or family who does not have a permanent address or residence. The living situation of an individual or family who does not have a stable, permanent, appropriate housing, or the immediate prospect, means, and ability of acquiring it. Oh, that's a really wordy way of just saying because you're broke. It's beyond brokenness, actually. It's like you have no, there's like there's, I don't know, meme markets out here where like a dog shed is worth more than your mansion. Okay, next, chronic homeless, because there's not just one branch of homelessness. It's very, very complicated because, you know, we have a homeless situation here that's 500 years old, because since contact for us as Indigenous people, that's how long we've been in homeless. It's because like it's not just occupied, we're also like homeless, right? Moved from our traditional territory. Anyway, okay, chronic homeless refers to individuals who are currently experiencing homelessness and who need at least one of the following criteria. They have a total of at least 6 months, 180 days of homelessness over the past year. They have reoccurrent experiences of homelessness over the past 3 years with a cumulative duration of at least 18 months, 546 days. Yes, this language is foreign to me. I don't know how to read that word, which is a problem. It's when everyone like they don't think I'm serious when it's like, you know, I'm like barely literate. And it's like, Denny, you're totally literate. You speak fine. You read all the time. You're in isolation. There's a word with it. Cumulative. Yeah, I can't read that. It just, my tongue doesn't want to work. Nope, not doing it. That's why I do like these little language apps. They break it down how to say something, and also a reason why I really enjoy scrolling on the world of TikTok, because there's great people out there that teach you how to do a lot of great things. There's a hilarious English teachers. Oh my god, I'll let you scroll. You're way more entertaining than me. I'm just here is making sure that you don't die. People are dying, but they're not dying fast. Not dying fast enough for people, apparently. And so you always have to check in. Here we go. Chronic homelessness includes time spent in the following contexts: staying in unsheltered locations, that is public or private spaces without consent or contract, or places not intended for permanent human habitation. Canadian Observatory of Homelessness, COH. Typology 1.1 and 1.2 legal lingo. So yeah, I'm part of this collective that the Conservative government under Harper, remember him? Stephen Harper, back in 2002. Well, that's when I got politicized after they decided to, yeah, it was around that time, 2001, 2002. Yesterday I referenced a couple births that I had in that time frame. I had a birth in 1998 and also had a birth in 2002. And I also had a birth in 2009. And I recognize this is old and irrelevant. You think it's irrelevant, but I'm dealing with people that study me in universities and celebrate shit I did 30 years ago. I wasn't the only one. It was a whole collective of us, but um, I'm interviewed over that. And my words are now in universities. And one interview, particularly one done in 2018, um, is in the archives of both like a bunch of universities here in the States. I didn't know it was going to do that. I thought it was because like living in central Vancouver, you get interviewed all the time. You know, every 6 months there's a new batch of students that need to work on their thesis, right? And it's like, can you like extend your interests outside the unit campus grounds or something? I don't know. Like I actually no, I really do appreciate working with a lot of students. Eh, Um, it's fun thing to do, and they're always looking for people to collaborate with and whatnot, and that's great. We're just like kind of like you got to work within moderation and be able to as long as I can continue to go back and correct that work because how it's unraveled is something else, man. I got a lot of there's a lot of students I have to talk to. That's what I got to prepare for. So no, I'm not here to get a bunch of like the New World Order construction crews dick wet, which is what they think I'm here because I walk and I'm a woman. Sounds really like horrible, but this is like how horrible it's been. Okay, chronic homelessness includes time spent in the following contexts. So staying in unsheltered locations, staying in emergency shelters, including overnight shelters for people experiencing homelessness, including those for specific populations such as youth, families, and newcomers. I had a couple newcomers. One from the other side of Canada, and the one from the other side of two borders. That didn't go over well because that's when I learned about the fight of the fuckboy club and their little sports fucking game. Like, fuck you guys, seriously. Oh, I forgot the emergency meeting. That was the announcement for 2025. It's the year of fucking great. Not great, guys. Not great. This is like get your consent ducks in a row. Get your antidotes in a row. Get your socks filled with fucking rocks and give them a sock if they get out of hand because they're little dents, these guys. I'm sorry I'm not I'm being really aggressive, but the TikTokers of the new year have made it already known that people and families are going missing for doing what's required of the status quo, which is A, get a job, and B, find a home. Or is it B, A, find a home, and then B, get a job? I don't know. But these two needs, these are needs. These are not wants, these are needs. You need shelter, you need food, shelter, and clothing. A little disturbed about that couple where the men have is a closet of clothes and she starts wearing his clothes. in their dresses. And it's like, oh, um, I'm gonna prayer. I got a prayer for you. I am there's so many youth that are stuck in unwanted situations that I just um, want to comfort, want to help, want to improve, and want to assure that like all this fear mongering about like blah 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 blah. I do know that we have the ability to respond, and that's what they've been doing. Like, share all the good news of 2025. This is what we've been able to do. There's this disaster, but we're able to respond like this. And it's like, great, because we have it all. We have it all. We have everything we need to regrow organs from just a single cell. Okay, this is where the science is at. This is why everyone's like, oh my God, it's so exciting. And then all of a sudden quantum computing became a thing. And it's like, oh, don't worry, we're prepared for that. We're prepared for that because quantum computing has been around for a really long time, but I'm not sure if quantum computing with AI has. Or with AI with imagery. Because everyone's like, okay, well, text, right? Well, all these language models, all this AI that's based on language models is created a lot of, well, there's a lot of English problems, right? But there's so many variations of interpretation of English, right? So, which reminds me, hey, know that my devices are hacked through camera apps or through the vehicles, because there's a lot of people that are houseless and they're living in their vehicles and they have Android Auto, they have Wi-Fi connected to their auto, and then they're able to like stream into, like, get access to your device, whether, I'm not sure if it's a radio or whatnot, but please take the time to learn all this tech, because it's before you welcome a robot into your home. Because I'm not sure if everyone knows here that the little chip on your phone is a whole nother computer that they can hack. Okay. And then the modem is a whole nother device that they can hack. And then the cable, nowadays, there's cables that can strip all, like, there's all these little, like, the tech is so advanced nowadays, you're not going to be able to tell until the difference between a cable that hacks you and one doesn't. Oh, I'm gonna talk. Let's switch on to this again. I'm really glad I have ADHD. Staying temporary with others without guarantee of continued residency or the immediate prospects for accessing permanent housing or short-term rental accommodations, example meals, or example motels, without security of tender. Yeah, so basically if you're staying in a hotel, you're homeless. It's important for you to know how homeless you are so that you can like have a better understanding of how you're being perceived in the community and what the professional eyes view the general public. Because right now this is pretty much the whole general public that I'm seeing. I've described people staying in unsheltered locations, yeah, public or private spaces without consent or contract, or places without not intended for permanent human habitation, staying in emergency shelters, staying temporary with others, staying in a hotel. It does not include situations where individuals have access to secure permanent housing whether subsidized or not. The definition also does not include time spent in transitional housing or in public institutions, for example, health or corrections. Although individuals who are discharged into homelessness from transitional housing or public institutions can be considered chronically homeless if they are experiencing chronic homelessness upon entry to transitional housing or the public institution. So this is all those descriptions was all under the description of chronic homelessness. So I've given you the definition of homelessness and then the definition of chronic homelessness. And now under Canada, we have another definition of homelessness, and that's called Indigenous homelessness. And that's why I'm just like, sorry, Mexico, you're not part of Canada's Indigenous homelessness. Like, you're part of our family, yes. I get, but in the soccer world, where you tell me that you're like a colonizer, then this is not your title. Okay. Indigenous homelessness. Recognizing the diversity of Indigenous peoples in Canada, and that Indigenous peoples may choose to refer themselves in their own languages, The following definition of Indigenous homelessness is inclusive of First Nations, Métis, and Inuit, status and non-status persons, regardless of residency or membership status. For this purpose of reaching home and the subject to revision based on ongoing engagement and consultation with Indigenous peoples, Indigenous homelessness refers to Indigenous peoples who are in the state of having no home due to colonization, trauma, and or whose social, cultural, economic, and political conditions place them in poverty. Having no home includes those who alternate between shelter or unsheltered, living on the street, couch surfing, using emergency shelters, living in unaffordable, inadequate, substandard, and unsafe accommodations, or living without the security of tender. Anyone, regardless of age, released from facilities such as hospitals, mental health and addiction treatment centers, prisons, transition houses, fleeing from unsafe homes as a result of abuse in all of its definitions, and any youth transitioning from all forms of care. So those are the definitions of homelessness, and that we work, that we lobby for the people, for the unhoused, or the homeless, or the houseless. I don't know what the houseless. It's home, like, yeah. So I've been working, we've been homeless since contact. That's how we perceive the streets and everywhere else, is that I'm dealing with a lot of homeless, different communities with different levels of homelessness, addressing that, and that's about it. And so we all just doing the best that we can and taking care of our spaces. Um, yeah. We received so much money at our table during quarantine. So I didn't myself, because at the table dealing with this issue, I take on a community seat and we're not funded. And I don't apply for funding. I don't try to apply for funding. I've never been about that. And yeah, that's what all my haters will find out. They think that I'm like this big leech. Meanwhile, just like, you're on my territory. You're taking resources from these lands. There's so much. Anyway, I don't want to get into that conversation. That's a conversation that Indigenous people get pretty ugly pretty quick, and then that's a whole nother level of lateral violence that now is being turned on us again. I was really kind of surprised when I went and I needed to do another workshop, and I ended up being a participant in a workshop, and that was Heal Your Inner Child workshop, because I didn't realize that was what came out. The beast that came out was 9 years old, apparently. It's angry. And it's like, okay. So I had to like heal that child, and and gotta nurture it, let it grow up a bit. Anyway, we were doing that workshop, um, getting that mind frame. And we're about to do the part where we write a letter. This is a writing portion, and then we share that portion, and then we just we let it go. We put it in the fire and it burns up, right? And then we have a little give our gratitude, and and then have a feast. Well, where this workshop was happening, there was a contractor. It was happening within a space that's indigenously operated, and so we have contractors there within the construction community as well, that are, because everywhere you go, like, money's being spent to create and upgrade all these living spaces, and it's because they're being paid the government. The government contractors are the worst, especially when um, dealing with people that are getting money from the government, because they actually believe that it's a tap that never turns off. And it's like, oh, it turns off. It is based on your fucking performance. And if you're calling painting, taking a dab of paint and then applying it on a piece of nail, and then calling that a job of the day, that hustle, because it's not work. It's not even work. It's not a hustle. Hustle is real work. It's endless work. You're always working on your sales, always working on presentation. No, but this is just BS. This is what they're doing because they're receiving contracts to do seismic upgrades with existing buildings that have like and we just got money within the indigenous community, and because it's we got money through the urban indigenous communities, they think that it's like because they bought into the belief that First Nations people get a free ride of everything. Everything, man. No, it's we have a regulated ride on every fucking thing. Because like someone's like, because like they also believe that a contract that happens on reserve is the same kind of treatment they're going to get or kind of get off reserve. And I have to rudely remind them, and it's like, no, but you better talk to your um, contractor there and let them know that that the money dries up if you don't fucking perform it. Because like when you get money from the government, it took us a long time to convince them that we have people that need house on off reserve, and that the First Nation itself isn't housing the people off reserve because they're barely housing the people on reserve. And there's so much stuff that you don't know about the governance here in Canada, about the whole hidden administration you have no idea about. The fact that we have no like we also don't have any respect for Canada. My first baby daddy, who is Israeli, who carries Israeli citizenship, but has is their family ties include Yemen, Romanian, Russian. I don't know. I guess there was a bunch of some of them are like very mobile. The is people of the Jewish descent are nomadic. So I really don't know as well, not all the deals because I'm from here and highly assimilated and on a process of decolonization. So that's my focus is, reconnecting with my cultural identity and returning home to there. So yeah, I don't think that's not Islam. Sorry. He's like, why can't we be husband and wife? I didn't realize that the people of the Middle East, we are really connected. We have a lot of like, and also in Africa too. Like, there's a lot of similarities, and also with China, where there's like people that we don't seem to have like the same like understanding is definitely the people that wanted to identify us as non-human. Fine, we're not human. We're not animals either. We're star nations. Star nations. Star nations. From the stars. The stars. See? I only received that teaching once. Um, I'll wait till that teaches arrives again in the community on the powwow dance floor, because that's what the purpose of the dance floor of the powwow is, for to share stories or regalia when people when they're dancing for the people or praying for the people or educating the people. It's done through song, dance, and example of our lives, and that's an old school way. That's the way that creator um, decided that works best for the people and helping them educate the people. That's the common denominator between white buffalo calf women and Jesus, is that they taught the people in small groups in a circle, showing them how to do things. Like it's not all about like reading a book and then doing it. It's or like strapping them in a classroom and oh my gosh, like the education system now is so bunk. Stop forcing these kids in a classroom and expecting them to sit on their ass for fucking I don't know how long. Stop it. Get your kid out of there. You can't even do it. That's the challenge. Sit on your fucking ass for 6 hours in a room and learn from a fucking bitch. See, you can do that. You can't. You can't fucking do it. Why are you sending your kids to these fucking monster people, forcing them to do that? You don't need to. I have no judgment about those poor kids that lose their crap and hurt each other. I mean, they're totally not being supported at all. Anyway, I'm glad too that we have the community out here online, and if you can go ahead, call me names. I don't really care. We'll be here. I'm old. I'm safe. Yeah, I like to go keep. Yeah, I also like to smoke. I'm gonna keep on smoking weed. Again, I do that medicinally and I'm privately. I've like that's part of my sobriety now. That's how I decided to like very committed to a sober lifestyle, a recovery, living a life of recovery. So um unless the habitats of Sirius decides to smoke one up with me, that's great. Like we'll do that like in smoke bowl, and you can teach them smoke protocol behind it. But as it stands right now, I like to smoke in the morning, and to help me regulate, because I get pretty charged. It's fearful. I get afraid. I'm a mother of 2 older daughters, and constantly afraid that fearful for them. I'm not too fearful for my son, even though I should be, but he's a big guy too now. And he's super soft. He's a gentle person. He's a gentle spirited person. So that's good. You guys would totally hate him because he's got long hair. Don't worry. He has full intention to staying, um, remaining a man. Here on the West Coast, guys, or in indigenous culture, everywhere, the men's hair is long, and it has a lot of teachings connected to that as well. But I'll let you figure that out. I'll let the men teach that. The men love to share traditional teachings. They love it. It's beautiful. They do a better job at us sometimes, because as women, like when we pass on a traditional teaching, actually we got way better. What am I saying? Like, I'm still talking about the past. I'm not going to talk about the past. There's a lot of great teachers out there. They love sharing their knowledge that they've earned, especially after like surviving this pandemic together. That's why I was like, we're the warriors. We're number one. We're the champions for real. Because we didn't bow down. And I might have been like blazed out of my fucking mind while like, helping the people. So we help the people. And we were rewarded. And then the country said, okay, well, what did you guys do? We want to do it. And I'm just like, so they're just doing it. They're continuing to do it, and I'm able to step back. And now I'm not on the front lines anymore. Yeah, but all the work that we did on the front lines, all that contributions we did during that shit show of the time. We've achieved quite a lot. Like just went down, like was motivated today. I actually thought I had a meeting today with one of the grandmothers, but I plugged it in my brain. I have a meeting. I'm a little nervous about it, and so I phone and it's like, is so and so there? I don't know. I wanted to confirm a meeting, and it's like, no, because I actually asked if the board directors were still in operation, and it's like, no, there's no board meeting tonight, and they don't know what's going on. So then we just went ahead and was like, well, let's just go there and have some breakfast. I went down there, have breakfast, but breakfast time slots end at 11 o'clock, so we missed the boat. So then we went and had a breakfast up at near Raycam, up on Raymer. S2 Cafe. It's been a while since I've been in there. Good Worker Joe, Trader Joe, not a Trader Joe. It's good. No, I'm not gonna say it's a greasy spoon because like greasy spoons are operated by greasy guys, and this is a mom. Like these women are like they know what all these worker guys they probably know what you're gonna order before you walk in the door, right? Or when you walk, they just like, yeah, no worries. Super fast, like this. You know, we got this one. It's all the old school, like stable, classic, hungry man menu, right? Like it's just like super basic, none of that. Nothing's gluten free. We're just like, what the fuck is that? It's either white bread or brown bread. Which one do you want? Like that type of cafe. That's what I like. Going out to eat. It's just like it's a convenience thing. I don't want to deal with all the extras charges in the morning or in the middle of the workday or whatever. I was like, wasn't planning on this. Actually, we eat out a lot, but I discovered at the Carnegie Community Center, which is on in the neutral zone. It's known as the neutral zone, but it's not neutral anymore. But for us here in gangland, the Carnegie is part of the block that is neutral. That was actually tested a few times by newcomers. We're we're here, we're gonna take over this block. And it's like, no, you're not. This block is neutral. No, 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 no. I'm gonna own this block. No, no, it's neutral. Yeah, what the F do these people know? We're taking over this block. This block is ours. This block is neutral. And then they disappeared. What the government thinks they can satellite? They're the only ones that can satellite people and to control situations. Like I don't know. There's lots of powers out there other than the government. And they said that block is neutral, so it's neutral. That's the only kind of like conflict we've had to deal, bumps we've had to deal with in that situation. The others, when it comes to taking over that area, now, since the dawn of time, the true fucking shit that needs to be addressed is people's sexual health. Because in the same block that they allegedly say is neutral, shut down like a motherfucker during quarantine. Shut down. So knowing that New Year's happened recently, 5 years later, I'll go walking around and yeah, people being fed, they have access to food. If they're not eating, it's because they missed the time like block. You know, there's plenty. Like breakfast is served till 11. It's pretty set. Everything is set. Um, the streets, of course, still need to be sanitized. Like we're living in a they everybody else is living. It's intentionally turned into a human like toilet, but that's because of the I guess the neutral hate. Is that it? The am I talking long? Oh, an hour. Okay, I'm gonna shut up now. We'll see you guys later. Bye.